Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Same truck, different day. 05 UCC prep. The last video you guys saw us bang out the trans cooler is kind of where we left off. So we're gonna go ahead, run all new fuel lines to the CP3 pumps, all new fuel lines from the air dogs to the fuel cell, a new factory return line because we're gonna get rid of the factory stuff, and then we're going to go ahead and get the transmission cooler lines ran. Jeremy is going to take care of our wiring for the transmission fans because he's not a huge fan of my work. And then we're going to go ahead and get the bed cut, hopefully all in the same episode. We use the same thing every time. We got our PDD lines or fittings. These are steel fittings. They work pretty good. They're in stock. They're a lot cheaper than the aluminum ones. And then we have some of our PDD push lock hose. This is the same stuff you guys get in our trans lines. It's a Continental instant grip, 500 degree, 300 psi working pressure. What I love about this hose is it's very anti-chafe resistant as opposed to some of the other push lock hoses. I do know like Air Dog I think uses this hose but in black. But blue is what we have in stock, and blue is what I'm willing to pay for. And then I think we're gonna make a mass summit return for a lot of this stuff because I think the steel fittings will work just fine. I will use aluminum fittings up there by the fuel stuff, just so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. So I think all the fuel plumbing we'll do in aluminum and all the trans stuff we'll do in steel. Just, you know, kind of makes it easier to distinguish, I guess. I don't know. But without further ado, I don't know how I'm going to get a camera down there. So I'm just going to bang it out, kind of show you guys the before and after. What I'm thinking on the fuel, we have our two feeds back here. They got to go up to the two air dogs over there. We have our two CP3 and two air dog returns that got to come back to the fuel cell. We have our one cylinder head rail return line that's got to come back to the fuel cell. And we also have to get our two trans lines from the trans coolers right there to the transmission. That'll be a pretty short run. I got a bunch of fittings, 80 feet of hose. Hopefully it works out for me. And those are the factory lines we're gonna get rid of right there. So let's get to work. So while Myers up there messing around, there's our trans line plumbing with those clamps. And then our fuel stuff is going right up there. We got two of the dash 8s ran. We got one more 6 to run. But as you guys can see, it's pretty cramped down here. So we have our fuel plumbing. These are the two feeds coming from the fuel cell to the air dogs. We have our head and rail return, our two CP3 returns. Now we just got to run the last two air dog fuel returns. 150 degree fitting, kind of kicked them out, lots of clearance. And then once this is all done, what we're gonna do is basically secure all these on the strap here like so, and keep them from dangling. So it should work out pretty sleek. We'll just zip tie those on, that way they're easy to get on and off. And then down here, you guys can see, doesn't droop too much. We'll be able to tighten that up a little bit too. It's just the way they're sitting right now. So let's go ahead and finish the last two air dog returns. All right guys, we've come to the conclusion of the plumbing. I use wire loom here to stop it from chafing on the bars. So you guys can see everywhere where it rubs, it's got the chafing protection. Everything's nice and secure. We'll finalize this once we figure out where all the bungs are going, but we used a lot of these double loop brackets. And if you notice, everything's below the bed line, and we did that for a reason. If we ever want to go back to a regular bed, we'll cut out obviously where the fuel cell's at, but everything else will fit. So we have our two air dog returns are the outside, two CP3 returns are the inside. We have our dash 6 from the head, our two feed lines here. We are done. I'm gonna go ahead and get this disaster cleaned up. Trans coolers are all done, and like nothing rubs. It's gonna be great. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty proud of it underneath here. Hold on. So here they all sneak down. We got a lot of nice clamps, You know, just kind of sneaks up there. We got rid of all the factory lines. And then this is the air dog setup. So all in all, pretty clean. Shouldn't rub through, shouldn't have any issues. The setup should do us a lot of justice for a very long time. Might need to tighten those up, but anyway, she's done. Now's the day we've been waiting for. Gonna gut this bed. Go ahead and get you guys up on a tripod. We're gonna do this the way that I normally do it, where I cut a lot of it outside, but I leave some of the structure so you can set it on the bed, and then you do the last minute cutting and you're able to brace it. It really helps align everything up without fighting it. So without further ado, let's get to work. All right, guys, it's getting kind of dark, so I'm gonna go ahead, finish cutting out the back wall and just cleaning up a few rough edges. And then we'll get this thing set in the truck. And from there, we'll figure out what's left that we can cut. So if you guys kind of see, I left the front bar, the back bar. That allows me to position the bed, brace it, and then cut all that out so it's as light as it can be and as straight as it can be. It takes a little longer, but I feel like the finished product is what makes it all worth it. So I'm gonna go grab some more cutoff wheels and just keep cutting and grinding.
I hope so. It's not gonna be able to stop.
Flash turned on. Not that strong, Josh.
You're on your phone there. I don't know what I'm on.
Dude,
There it is.
OEM. Dude, look at this bed height. All right, so we have all the sharp edges trimmed. You guys can see there, we got the corners of the bed with little gusset tabs there. We decided to leave a lot more of the frame of the bed for two reasons. Number one, it's really not that heavy. Number two, it still allows us to use the tailgate, which will be nice when we put the bed cover on. So all in all, bed's done, sled pole setup's done, fuel lines, trans lines. Shad's just got to put the bungs in, but it was a really productive couple days. She's looking good. Still put the roll pan on if we want to. It's got a sweet, sweet access hole now down here, but looks good. All right, guys, this will be a wrap. Really hard to make cutting, grinding, and fabbing any fun, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I can tell you I pushed to get it all done tonight, so I don't have to be covered in dust or wear that face mask and safety glass, all that crap anymore. But it's done. Good weekend. Got a lot done. Jeremy's still working on the harness. I'll kind of show you guys the final product once it's done. But he ripped out my entire rat's nest and is replacing it with some really nice stuff. So we won't have to worry about the truck shutting off, doing anything weird. Hopefully, it'll all be good and very serviceable, which is a plus. If you guys like this video, drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you are not already. And I will catch you on the next one.